So I'm about to be showing how I actually break up my crab when I'm eating my Maryland blue crabs. And I just showed you the back of it, and this is the front. I start by pulling off my legs first. Sometimes I try to pull them off in a way that allows me to get the meat. That piece was the back leg. The claws have the most meat in them. So you want to be sure to, it's easier to just start with this back piece, just pulling it up and pulling it all the way off, just like that. And then you split it open. And when you do this part, you'll see it pull out like the guts and everything. You take the tip. I take the tip of the claw of the shell, and I just scrape out like the rest of it. And as much of the mustard, I don't prefer to eat the mustard, which is that yellow stuff, or poop, really. Now, I split it in half, and from here, I like to then pull off the claw and try to get as much of the meat off of it as I can. And you crack it like kind of in the middle so that you can get to the dead man part. So this is the dead man. You want to make sure you take off the dead man. Do not eat it. That is the lungs. It can make you sick. So that it looks different than the meat because they look like they have like lines in them. And you can see how the meat looks versus the actual dead man. So you pull that off just so you don't get it mixed up with your meat. So then I take off each piece and break down as much as I can to the core of this part of the body so that I can get to the meat. So you can see how that's like a nice juicy piece of meat right there. By the way, some people use like nutcrackers and stuff to try to make it easier and not hurt their hands. I know sometimes I kind of scratch my fingers and stuff using my fingers, but it doesn't really hurt, so I prefer to do it like this. So here I'm just taking out all the meat that I'm going to be using to eat from the crab. And I put a little bit of butter on the side because that's what I typically dip my meat in. I do garlic butter, put a little bit of Old Bay and some cayenne pepper in there, and some Cajun as well. And it's pretty good. And yeah, I'm just collecting all of the meat from here. So from here, you'll just see me collecting every little bit of meat. Now, in this part of the body, there are like little pieces that are in between each part of the body. You can take them off. Some people eat them. If you fry the soft crab, most people typically take off that front piece and then they just fry the back piece after they remove the lungs. And you can just eat the shell when it's fried thoroughly. It's really good. Soft crabs are really good. Now from right here, I just start breaking the claws. The claws have a decent amount of meat in them as well. If you can pop it out to the point where you take out the meat, it's cool. But when you get to this part, you pull it out. And I usually, right here, you can use a nutcracker. I just bite it. And that way I can access the meat inside of it. And then I use I crack the other one as well to get the meat out of that. And pull that out. And then you got some nice little chunk of meat from that. And then when it comes to the claw, you can see all the meat right there. And to the claw, I use the pointy piece of the edge to wipe it out. Bye.